John Contreras and Alan Nelson are cooking for us today from Nabil's. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you today?
It's good to see you.
Thank you for having us here again.
All right, now what do we call this dish?
We call it Yemistà. Let me hear you saying that.
Say that again.
Yemistà.
Yemistà.
Yeah, I mean stuffed. We're going to stuff the tomatoes with all fresh ingredients. So we're going to start with basil.
But
the first thing you do is the tomato, right? You want to cut the top off the tomato.
So we got to hollow out the tomato.
Hollow it out, and take your spoon or ordinary soup spoon, and you just go around the tomato. You don't want to pierce the skin because you're going to use this tomato to cook the stuffing. So
Then
you're going to use all the parts of the tomato.
Okay.
Put the basil, the parsley, fresh mint, fresh garlic, onions. Put a little feta in it. Always feta.
Always
Greek
feta.
Everything tastes better with feta. And waiting for Al to do his thing, and then we're going to mix it up together. You know, you got to chop this real good. And this is a very, very special and traditional Greek recipe. This morning I was checking out the internet for a flight to Greece, and it's over $1,800.
Wow.
So instead of people going to Greece to have this dish, they can come to Nabil's.
That is a bargain. That is a bargain.
So you want
All right,
to
so
chop
what
this
you doing?
up.
Okay.
You want to chop the tomatoes up sort of fine, because you're going to have to stuff them into these little tomato shells.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, once you does this need to be put in there immediately after you do it, or can you set?
No, you can. It don't
You
have
make
to
it
be
ahead of time?
immediately. You make it ahead of time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put this in.
All right.
Now, John already put the basil, the parsley, the onions, the garlic, and the feta cheese.
Okay.
And so all you have to do now is put the stuffing in, and you have to put the rice in.
And put the rice.
It's just 1 cup of rice.
And you have to be absolutely sure
Yeah. So it's uncooked rice.
that it stays juicy. So, you know, you put extra virgin olive oil
So the
in
rice
it.
cooks in the oven. Then?
It cooks in the oven.
Okay.
And the good thing about it is when you stuff these tomatoes with the rice mixture in it, and you put the lid on it,
Right.
it actually is like a little stove.
Oh, how cute.
And
Okay.
So you stuff them like this. Be sure that you don't stuff them all the way to the top because the rice is going to expand.
And then it will expand over
Right.
into it. But this is you're going to have other things in the pan, though, right? Because this is
Yes.
more
Yeah.
like a one-dish meal.
And then
we're just gonna
Then put the extra.
Put the extra in there.
put the extra there.
Is that potatoes?
Put potatoes in it.
Look at that. So you get the stuffed
Put
tomato
a
and
little
then the
more
extras
feta
are in there
cheese.
too.
Always, everything tastes better with feta.
And you got to put the lids on.
Put the lids on, and then be sure that you sprinkle some olive oil on the top so it stays moist.
Okay.
And what you do is you take it like this. You put a little bit of water. I forgot the water.
Okay.
And you put it in the oven.
Not a lot of water,
Open the oven
right?
door, Al.
All right. What you got there, Al? This is coming out of the oven.
This is-
Coming out of the oven.
Look at that. Doesn't that look good?
And
Now,
then
I
we're
see
going to
that.
put it, sorry about that.
You do that. Just go ahead and put it on the plate. Hey, Al, while he does that, does it matter? Because it looked like these tomatoes weren't really ripe yet. Is that important, or is
Well,
that just...
the firmer they are, it'll help the cooking process.
Okay.
But these are Alabama-grown potatoes. I mean,
Tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
And I like to use the firm ones to cook with.
Okay.
And so that's
And
the
that's
main
how
thing.
it's served.
Yeah, because normally you don't want to eat raw the ones that aren't...
Right.
But better for cooking.
Right. They better
And
cook.
it is, almost 100% vegetarian. I mean, it is vegetarian. Everything is fresh. And like I said, $1,800 to go to Greece. Don't do that. Don't spend the money. Come to Nabil's.
I think he's got a plan right there. All right, if you want to try this, myfoxal.com or go down to Nabil's in Homewood and check it out for yourself. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. All right, Fred, looks pretty good.
You know what